So hello guys, today I'll be talking about how to read the data from the properties file and how properties file is beneficial in terms of Selenium, because I always take an interview and whenever I ask like how I'll maintain the data to the properties file, people are unable to answer it, and it's such a simple thing which if you'll watch this video and if you'll do a practice, it's very easy, like how to read the data from the properties file, right? So to do that, I'll start with the explanations of properties file. Before starting the explanation of properties file, this is brief about me, okay? And this is my Facebook page, so if you have any query you can write down on my Facebook page. And if you want any video for automations, for Java, for data structure, okay, please feel free to write me the message on my Facebook page. So I'll make a video, and I usually update my reference of the video to the Facebook page, and this is my core Java playlist where I upload all my videos, okay? And guys, whenever you are watching the video, please use 720 because whenever I record a video, I record full HD, so you'll get more clarity. Now I'll start with properties file. So first we need to understand what is properties file, right? So properties file, it's a kind of a text file, right? But the extension is dot properties. And in properties file we store the data in the terms of key and value pair, like a map, right? Because we know that map uses key value pair. Even in properties file we do the same thing. We store the data in terms of key and value, because properties file internally uses map, okay? Properties file internally uses map. So to explain you, what I will do is I will make a first properties file. So what I will do, I will make one separate package, okay? I will make one separate package prop and inside that what I will do is I will create one properties file, right? So yeah, no problem. Okay, I don't want to create text. What I can do is where we have others, so general, and we have a file, okay? So it's a properties file, so I will write test1 dot properties, okay? Because the properties file extension is dot properties, right? Because it is quite different from the text file, the way we read the properties file is quite different the way we read the text file, right? Because properties is a class in Java, okay? Properties is a class in Java where we make the object of properties, okay? We make the object of properties, and that properties object will take the file reader as an argument, okay? Because properties will take file reader as an argument, because properties class has one parameterized constructor which takes reader as an argument, right? I will explain you one by one, okay? First I will make one properties file. I'll finish this. So I have made one properties file. Here I will write name is equal to, in double quote I will write Bhanu, right? Then I will write I can write place is equal to double quote I can write Bihar, okay? So I wrote name is equal to Bhanu, place is equal to Bihar, right? Place is equal to Bihar. This is my properties file, and here if you look at here, I am storing the data in terms of this is my key and this is my value, this is my key and this is my value. Now how to read this properties file? To do that, what I will do is I will make one method. Public void read. I will make one method read data, right? I will make one method read data, and as I told you, properties is nothing but a class, Properties is a class. So it's very important interview questions. They will ask you what is properties. So properties is nothing but is a class. So I will make one variable properties is equal to new. Okay, I cannot make object here, right? Great, because I am outside method. Okay, sorry. Okay, so what I am doing here is I am just creating the reference of properties class. What I am doing here is just creating the reference of properties class. Now here is very interesting things. You have so many things. You have import, you have change to properties file, test ng. So if you look at here, properties comes inside Java util package. This is very important, guys. Keep in mind, because you know that is the difference between real experience and fake experience. If you have fake experience, you will read the data from properties file, but you don't know what is properties. It is a class or it is an interface. You don't know from which package properties, from which Java package we will have properties, right? So that is the difference. That's where interviewer will catch you whether you have real experience or you have fake experience, right? So now I will click on java.util. Now my package got imported. If you look at here, see, util has that class properties. If you go to the util package, it has class properties. Now I have made the reference. Now what I will do, I will make the object of this reference. I will make the object of this reference. You know that how to make the object. This I will not teach now because I have already made one video on that, right? So here I have made the object. Once you will make the object, as I already told you, properties is nothing but a class. So whenever you have a class, class has method. Whenever you have a class, class has method, right? Agree? Yes. So class has a method. Now if the class has method, you can access the method of the class through the object. You can access method of the class through object. So you can access method of the class through an object. That is the reason I have made object here. Now sorry, I will take this reference of the class and dot. It has one method. It has one method called load. Actually it has two method load, right? It has two method load. Load is input stream and load is a reader. Two method you have, and you have one from load from XML. But here I am not bothered for XML. I am teaching you about the properties file. So I will take this load, right? This load method. This properties class has one method load, and this takes an argument as an reader. This takes an argument as an reader. Now what I will do, I will make the file object, and I will tell you why I am making the file object, right? Again guys, file is also a class. Okay, file is also a class, and where file is available, it is available inside Java IO package. So file is also a class, right? Don't just remember we make object of file. Try to remember the concept. File is a class, right? So when something is a class, we can make object of it, right? We can make object of it. Now where it is available? It is available inside java.io package. Now I have imported my package. Now I am getting error. You know why I am getting error? Because here it's very important concept here. Why I am getting error? When I am making the object of file, I am getting error. Why I am getting error? Because file class has only parameterized constructor. Because file class has only parameterized constructor, right? That is the reason we cannot make the object of default constructor, right? So any class in Java, if you have only parameterized constructor, you cannot make the object of default constructor. But if you want to make the object of default constructor as well as parameterized constructor, you have to write two different constructor in the class. One is default, one is parameterized. One more concept. when you don't have parameterized constructor in the class, in that case you can make the object of default constructor, because Java compiler by default will keep default constructor, but the moment you will write parameterized constructor, the Java compiler will not keep the default constructor, right? The moment you will write parameterized constructor, Java compiler will not keep the default constructor. Now what I have to give here, I have to give the path of my file. So this is my path, so this is my file, right? This is my file. So I will take till here, I will take only till here, and I will show you how to handle this smartly. You write system dot set property, sorry, not system dot set property, system dot get property. Inside that double quote you write user dot dir. After that come outside, double quote, write this. Okay, you have to write double quote, sorry, double slash. Okay, now one more concept here, very important concept, because I usually take interview, I have taken a lot of interview, and whenever I will ask people like why we write system dot get property, they will tell, yeah, we have to write system dot get property, right? They will tell we have to write system dot get property, but they are not aware system is a class, right? People are not aware system is a class and get property is a method. Get property is a static method, right? That's where you need to focus. You need to understand from where we are using class, from where get property is coming, right? If you think a little bit, you will come to know everything. Java is very easy. Okay, so system is a class, and that class has one static method called get property. Because here if you look at, I am not making the object of system class, right? I am not making the object of system class, still I am able to use it. Why? Because get property is a static method, right? So my file is ready. So I have already made the file object. And why I have made the file object? Because directly I cannot read properties file. I have to make the object of file, then only I can read. Now I will make the object of file reader. I have to make the object of file reader. See here, if you look at again one more important concepts, file reader. What is file reader? File reader again is a class, right? File reader again is a class. So here also when you will ask people how to load the properties, they will tell make the file, make the reader pass the file, but they will not understand what is file reader. If you will ask them like what is file reader, whether it is a class, whether it is an interface, whether it is abstract class, they will tell no, this I am not aware. But this should not be the answer, right? This should not be the answer. You have to answer smartly. File is a class, so we are making the object of file class, and this file reader has a lot of method. This file reader has lot of method, it has lot of constructor in the class, because here if you look at, I am making the object of the file reader, which means I have one constructor, I have one parameterized constructor. Because try to recollect it, when I have made video on constructors, there I already explained more than 10 times. Whenever we make object, we make the object of a constructor, right? So file reader has one parameterized constructor, that is called file. So this is my f. I have already made the object. From where f is coming? This file object, right? Now I can load here obj. Now my this method is ready. Okay, I can read data from properties file. See, I am getting compile time error. You know why? Because Java has two kind of exception. One is checked exception, one is unchecked exceptions. So checked exceptions comes at the compile times. See this, why we are getting, because this will give you the input output exceptions and file not found exceptions. So guys, this is very important. try to remember in interviewer. This is one of the favorite questions which everybody will ask you, like what is the checked exception and what is unchecked exception. Say that checked exceptions will get compiled times, and they will ask you what are the checked exceptions. Say that input output and file not found are the checked exception. Now my code is ready. Now how to test this code? Okay, I will teach you in Selenium way so that you can correlate. Okay, so to test that, since this is my test base, assume that this is my test base, and assume that I will make one class called test. I'll make one class called test properties. Okay, here what I will write, I will write public void init. Okay, one method, and here I will write at before class. Simply I'm writing before class, I don't have to write, but why I'm writing, so that you people can understand, you can correlate with the Selenium. Now what I will do, I will go to my test base, and here I have something called read data. Here what we have is read data. Similarly, I can make one method public void, and yeah, I can make like this public void get object. I can make like this. Here what I will do is better I can make this as a static. Here also I will make this a static. Okay, and this I will make a static. A static I am making because I don't have to make the object when I will try to call it. So get object, what I will do is I will write properties dot get, and here I will write a string data. Okay, no, there I cannot write data, here I have to write string data. Cool. So this will give you the data, right, and this will return if I'll write here data, this will give you the string, right? So change to data, create local variable, so this will give you return, and you return this. So this method, so here you can write now string, because this method return type is a string. So what I did, I just made two method. One is read data. Instead of read data, I can write here load data. Load data is more meaningful. I can write here load data. Okay, and yeah, load data. Yes, so whenever we are trying to get the data, first load data should get called. First properties file should be loaded to the memory, and then I'm trying to get that. So here also it will throw an exception input output. Yes, agree. So I had made one method on the top of get property, get object, right? So this is load data. This what it will do is it will load the data, and this is get object, it will give you the data. Now assume that you have Selenium script and you have to read the data from the properties file. How to do that? So I can assume that this my test will extends test base. Okay, so what I can do here is I can directly write get object, right, and the data. So which data? Assume that I want to get name. Assume that I want to get name, right? So if I will, yeah, this will also throw exceptions, agree, because input output. If I run this, control F11, Why before class will not run? Okay, so test ng, I think it is not associated. No, it is associated, it should work. Why before class will not get called? Only test will get called. Okay, it should get called. Why it is not getting called? It should get called, no problem. Public void test properties. Here it should be capital T, and here I have to import test ng. Yeah, so if I will, this will also give me input output, and what I will try to do is I will try to get this data, so I can write a string name is equal to, and a string should be S should be capital, and I will try to print this SYSO name string. Right now if I will run this, I should be able to get, see it is passing, I have to see what data I am getting. See, Bhanu is coming here, right? So I am able to read the data from the properties file. See, it is saying that Bhanu, that's what I have given to the properties file. So Bhanu is coming, right? And my test is passing. Now what I will do, I will try to get the object of place. I want to get my place, so I will just write place here. I will write place here. And guys, you know from where this get object is coming? It is coming because I am extending the method called test base, and this test base, what I did, I just made one method get object. Okay, and this get object, what it is doing is, first it is calling the method load data. Okay, it is calling the method load data, so it is loading the properties file in the memory, and this internally it is calling the data. So you know that in properties file, if you will supply the key, it will give you the value, right? In properties file, if you will supply the key, it will give you the value. So when I am supplying this data, I am getting the value for that data. That's how it is working internally. Now if I run this, control F11, see, I can see two data here. See, name is Bihar, name is Bhanu, place is Bihar. Now assume that in your, okay, so this is I think clear. Now assume that in your project you will have more than one properties file. Okay, you will have more than one properties file. Similar, very simple. Similarly, what you can do is test2 dot properties, and here you write pin is equal to 84356. Assume that you have one more properties file. So you have second properties file. Now again you have to do the same thing. You have to make the object of this. So you have to do all things again. You have to load in the memory. You can load in the memory. You can write here test2. Here you have to write F1 different reference, because duplicate reference is not allowed in the Java. And then you have to load this. So you can write obj1. Here you can write F1. So again second file will also got loaded in the memory. Now I can call the same method, because this same method load data is loading both the properties file in the memory. I can use the same method. If I will go to this method, and if I will print string pin is equal to get object, and here if I write in double quote, what name I have given there? I have given capital pin. Okay, so I will write pin, and if I will try to print this SYSO, pen, I should able to get that. I just ran my script, and here I have my name, my place, and this is the pin, right? And this is the pin. So hope properties file concept is clear for you guys, and hope you guys understood how properties file work. Please watch this video 2 times, and trust me, if you go for the interview, you can beat the interviewer. Okay, interviewer cannot beat you, you can beat the interviewer. So thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please click like button, subscribe my YouTube channel, write down any comments on my Facebook page, right, so that I'll make another video. Thank you for watching once again.